Hi, I'm Andy.
Hi, I'm Dave.
Hi, I'm Kirk.
And welcome to the ADK Music Video Review channel. And today we are going to be checking out a band called BURGERKILL. Great name for a band, BURGERKILL. And it's also called the Killchestra. Can't know if I spelt that. It's meant like orchestra, but Killchestra. And the song is called An Elegy. Now, this is a video I have seen, but you guys definitely haven't. And this was BURGERKILL, where they hooked up with a symphony orchestra to perform a track that they've got called An Elegy. And it was my first introduction to the band. And I wanted to share it with you guys as well. So yeah, we're gonna go check it out. And as always, we don't pause. We don't talk through it. We'll share the thoughts and feelings at the end of the video so that the viewers at home get to enjoy it as well as us. And let's go check out BURGERKILL.
There's something I've been missing. I can hold my head up high. It's getting really hard to love and realize that you're already gone. There's always been me, my sins are constantly judging me. I cannot run, I cannot hide. It's killing me and dragging me down. I can feel your eyes are watching, but I can hold my head up high. It's getting really hard to understand the way you leave me, the way you leave me. And I'm still here, standing in the seventh row. Never had a chance to say thanks, never had a chance to say goodbye. So much sadness, what happened to happiness? Life is too short for questions, and it's hard to find the answer. Mesmerized by the light you till we meet again.
There we go, Burger Kill and an elegy. So I think Kirk should go on his thoughts on this one.
So judging by the name of the band, I was expecting an extreme metal band.
That's the softest they do.
Oh, is it? Yeah. And by the way, I like how the singer's wearing a Dillinger Escape Plan hoodie. Musically, my biggest fear is without the orchestrations and the symphonics, would that sound like a bland version of modern post-grunge? Probably not, actually, because when I was listening deeper into it, it wasn't formulaic. I heard undertones of the great Swedish band Catatonia in their fantastic voice, really gravel-throated. He delivered every note to perfection, but there was also a great anguish to that voice. And the fact that he could command an orchestra and really get himself heard over that was impressive. I do think, though, that watching the symphony orchestra did distract me from certain elements of the song. I thought the guitars were innocuous until the climax towards the end. Good musicianship. Couldn't hear the bass guitar, but you wouldn't really expect to, would you, when there's 48 other instruments in the mix? I'd be interested to listen to some of their other stuff then. So are you saying that they're more of a, what are they, more of a, like a progressive death metal band or something?
Death hardcore.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool.
So I think when you heard his vocals, it was very clean all the way through. As far as it was a bit gravelly, but it was clean. It was just near the end where you got this idea that he probably has a really good death metal vocal, but he never quite let it go. It was like 60% of it came through at the end, and then he just pulled back. He never kind of got full pelt, and they do have some great tracks that are heavy. But I think this one, because it gives you a good texture and a good build up, it's quite a nice, for someone who, for me, like me, who's not a death metaler, it's a good way to get in. And actually, for me, it was a good introductory tracks for me. So then when I went to the next more extreme tracks, I wasn't kind of put off by them. I was able to accept them a bit more because I'd had this as my starter opener. And this is a very soft opener. And that's why I went to you first, Kurt, because I had a feeling this is going to be too soft for Andy and too boring for him. But what did you think, Andy?
I like the sort of behind the scenes setup with the orchestra coming in and sorting out their instruments. I'd be quite happy if the band didn't turn up, to be honest, and it was just 5 minutes of the orchestra playing. Because I love strings, I love orchestral music, with the doom, and it features very much in My Dying Bride and other fantastic doom bands. They're a poor man's Stain, didn't they, in that track? I really like Stained. And I was quite bored until 2/3 in when the tempo and the power picked up a bit.
Yeah.
It was an interesting video. I won't want to watch it again or check them out. But
fair enough.
Why? My question is, why would a band like that feel the need to go to the expense and trouble of bringing in a 48-piece orchestra to do a new version of their song? That kind of intrigues me. That maybe they just want to try something. I mean, are they established enough to go down that route to bring a new audience to their music and perhaps expand on what they're already doing?
To give an idea, so they're Indonesian, and they're probably rated at the same level as we would put someone like Alice in Chains.
Oh, okay.
That's how big they are in Indonesia. They're one of within the rock metal scene in Indonesia. They are the second or third biggest band coming out of Indonesia.
Well, they obviously have a budget behind them because they travelled to the Czech Republic for that, didn't they?
And this is where I found it quite interesting, where bands that I was getting referred to, which were huge over there, and I was like, well, if they came out and were put into the Western market, they wouldn't break into it. It's very infrequent where a band can come over from an Asian market and then break into the Western market, and it's quite similar for us to go over there. So it's not as easy for the Western markets to break in over there unless you're one of the big names. I mean, the big names that are coming out from the sort of the Asian market at the moment are things like the Baby Metals, the Bandmade, those sorts of groups that are kind of breaking into have come over here. And probably, was it the Mongolian act, The Who?
Yeah, you've also got that Singaporean Guanco band, Wormrot, who were probably the best Guanco band in the world, aren't they? You know, they're so well rated. So,
but it's such an interesting market. If you then compare album sales of their artists over there compared to our artists over here, they're actually comparable. So what we would say as a huge band over here is quite small in the Asian market, and in the Asian market it's a huge market, and they're selling millions of albums, but never come out of the Asian market. And it's kind of an interesting one to go over and explore their scene and see what it is, because a lot of people talk about these bands as being some of the biggest in the world, and then you hear them, and straight away I always find that I start comparing them. So like you sort of said, Poor Man Stained. If you ask someone in Indonesia who Stained were, they have no idea who we're talking about. But if you then look at when these bands came out, and when the Stained album came out, and when the Burger King album came out, you can probably guarantee that the Stained album came out a few years before this one did. And that's what I see as the transition is. We do see a lot of that, like 2 or 3 years after an album comes out, we see artists over in the Asian market doing something quite similar. We see it over here as well, but we instantly know who it is. We know who they're comparing them to. But in the Asian market, they've got nothing to compare to, so they think it's an original kind of concept.
See, Andy, you raise a good point, and I said at the beginning as well, that it had that, unfortunately, that bland corporate rock post-grunge sound of Nickelback. But I think they did turn it around, and I did start to hear more of a European melancholic gothic rock type angle to where they were going. But yeah, do you know what? If that was the centerpiece of an album, and the tracks before and after it were a lot heavier, I think that would be even more useful, that song, as a palate cleanser or a pit stop to refuel, whatever cliche you want to use. So it's intrigued me enough to check them out, to be fair. I probably would give their album a listen just to see what the heavier material is like.
The others are. Well, there we go. So that was Burger Kill and Elegy, and that was our music video review for this week. Now, if you like this video, please do subscribe, click the bell icon, like and share, and we'll see you on another video sometime very soon. Take care.